Okay, guten Morgen. This is for remote learners, but if you want to go back and watch this quick review, you're welcome to. Es ist Montag, den 9. November. Montag, den 9. November. Und we're getting close to being able to take a quiz over chapter 2b. Might not feel that way, but we're moving a little bit more quickly now that we can do a few more things. The quiz itself that you'll take on Wednesday or Thursday, the first one of the parts will be, could you tell me what time it is? So let's have a look at these. The question is, wie viel Uhr ist es? Wie viel Uhr ist es? Wie viel Uhr ist es? What time is it? Now, this isn't going too far from just knowing your numbers, but if we want to talk about an even time like 7 o'clock, we could say 7, and then our word for clock was Uhr. 7 Uhr. Say it is. Es ist. Es ist 7 Uhr. Nummer 2. Nummer 2, we could do something a little fancier. We learn the word halb. Halb. Halb means halfway. And for 2:30, Dennis' favorite time, we could say halb dry. Halfway to 3. Halfway to 3. Sometimes in English we say half past. In German we talk about halfway to, halb dry. And again we would say es ist halb dry. Here we've got 12. Es ist 12 Uhr. What if it, instead of 12, it was 12:10? How do we talk about a time where we've got hours and minutes? Instead of just saying es ist 12 Uhr, or es ist halb dry, es ist 12 Uhr 10. Es ist 12 Uhr 10. 12 Uhr 10. We say 12 o'clock 10. That word Uhr breaks up our hours and our minutes. So looking at this one, es ist 3 Uhr. If it were 3:01, it would then be 3 Uhr 1. Or 3:59. 3 Uhr 59. 59. Okay, so a few questions are going to be, can you do a couple of quick things with time? I might show you a picture of a clock and ask you, wie viel Uhr ist es? What time is it? There's going to be vocabulary. So study up on whether you do BlueKit or Quizlet, whatever is working for you, do more of it. You can look in your book even as a way to review vocab if you head to page 69, I think. In class today, we read this Lesestück about Jana and Carmen. I do want you to go and open your textbook, go to page 60, push play, and listen to it while you read it along. It's going to be beyond where we're at, but it's also important to expose yourself to some texts that build on what you know with new information. Be sure to look at the end of the reading. There are a lot of words defined there for you. I also want to talk about these questions real quick because we went through and just made sure we understood what they were asking. Because I might ask you a quick question like, wo wohnst du? To circle back to what we already did. Or Wie alt bist du? Here it asks, was macht Carmen zu Hause? Machen is a newer word for us. It's going to come up a lot, to do. So when you're done with this, look at the questions on page 17 and just see if they are on page 62, number 17, see if they make sense. Let's go back and just look at these. Again, page 54 would be a good resource to look over. There will be questions about time. There'll be a couple of quick questions about days of the week. So if you aren't feeling confident about those, Montag, Dienstag, Mittwoch, Donnerstag, Freitag, Samstag, und Sonntag, go back and maybe look on page 54 for some help. You can hear the larger numbers read out loud again. It can be tricky to know what to do with your book, but it is there as a really good resource. One last thing I want to do is just ask you to think about, if I asked you to, could you talk about somebody in your family? So let's draw. Looks just like him. So, das ist mein Vater. Now, if I told you, pick somebody in your family and tell me 3 things about him. I know at first you'd probably be like, I can't do that. Keep it simple. If I wanted to introduce you to this person, yeah, and say, first I might start with who that is. Mein Vater. Now think for a second, how would you introduce yourself? Ich heiße. Ja, ich heiße Herr Clark. Mein Vater what would I do differently to heiße based on what we've been seeing with verbs? When I do them, a lot of times it goes to E, except for ich bin. Ich heiße, ich wohne, ich komme aus. Mein Vater heißt. Showing me that you can conjugate a verb differently for he, using T instead of E, is a big step in learning a language. Ich heiße Herr Klog, mein Vater heißt Richard. Mein Vater heißt Richard. Now, what if I wanted to say he is 71? For myself, I might say ich bin 36. Ich bin 36. Would I just say ich bin 71? Or 71 Jahre alt? I gotta do something differently. I gotta say he. Bin 71. Still doesn't sound right. Ich bin, I am, changes to ist. Ist 71 Jahre alt. Okay? What's one more thing I could say about him? I could do some of the fancy stuff like we did way early on in chapter 2b, like hat braune Haare, hat blaue Augen. We talked about a couple of fancy phrases like that, but I'm not asking you to do that. We do know how to say like where I'm from. Ich wohne in Iowa. Wohne in Iowa. Did you catch it? Made a mistake. What do I need to do differently to live, to wohne? I'm doing it, I say, ich wohne in Iowa. What if I'm talking about air? Er wohnt in Iowa. That's three facts about one person. Ideally, we're at a point where we could do that about most people in our family. Short, simple sort of stuff. Meine Schwester heißt Emily. Sie ist 37 Jahre alt. Sie wohnt in Urbandale. Sie kommt aus Iowa. Ja? Ich bin 36. Ich wohne in Des Moines. Meine Mutter heißt Christine. Sie ist 70 Jahre alt. Sie wohnt in Indianola. Okay, so that's an 11-minute review here this morning on Montag. Let me know if you have questions, but hopefully this is a good condensed review for you.